The concept of the multiverse had its impact on the DC universe too. There are some very intriguing storylines with out-of-the-box alternatives. See, from the Flashpoint paradox to the Injustice, the storylines are bone-chilling and enough to make DC fans go crazy. With different storylines, the character twists are brilliant, especially with Superman. Superman is one character in DC who was more like a dangerous weapon rather than a hero. Unlike Batman, Superman has often been molded or mind-controlled by villains bringing catastrophe to the world. He was even mind-controlled by Poison Ivy, which is kind of a bad thing for him as he is far beyond her capability to conquer. This is enough to make a point that if Superman can be taken in a team, the scales will tip drastically. There have been several universes in DC where Superman had become a catastrophic threat rather than a superhero, and the outcomes are incomprehensible, especially in the Injustice story. Needless to say that it takes more than an effort to stop him, and that is what makes the stories interesting. It is nearly impossible to defeat him in straight combat and requires a lot of strategies to bring him down, and for that, there are characters like Batman who always has a plan. So, hold your horses, as in today's video, we will be covering 12 stories or parallel universes where Superman is the main adversary to mankind.
Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin.
Number 1. Hank Henshaw, Reign of Superman, 2019. Hank Henshaw was a member of the crew of the LexCorp space shuttle Excalibur, which had crashed during a space exploration. Hank and the other 3 Excalibur crew members, including his wife Terry, were exposed to cosmic radiation which caused their shuttle to collapse. 2 crew members' human bodies were destroyed as a result of the radiation exposure. Apart from Henshaw's hair becoming white, he and Terry were unaffected by the radiation, and the team went to Metropolis in the hope of using LexCorp facilities to treat their altered crew members. Henshaw's corpse had begun to disintegrate fast while Terry was phasing into an alternative realm. Henshaw was able to use the LexCorp facility to save Terry with Superman's assistance, but he died shortly thereafter. Despite the fact that his physical body had died, he was able to transfer his mind onto the LexCorp mainframe. Henshaw, now capable of controlling technology, was able to appear in a robotic form to his wife. Henshaw blamed Superman for his and the crew's demise, but with Superman dead as a result of his battle with Doomsday, he was unable to exact direct vengeance on the man he had grown to see as his adversary, and so attempted to damage Superman's reputation. To that goal, the cyborg claimed to be Superman reborn, constructing a cybernetic body with biological sections genetically similar to Superman and technical components made of Kryptonian alloys utilizing knowledge gleaned from the birthing matrix. In addition to smashing the Superman Memorial Monument in front of the Daily Planet, the cyborg banished Doomsday into space and protected President Obama from an assassination attempt. The White House endorsed Cyborg as the real Superman as a consequence of the latter event, and he presented the president with a communications device. When asked by Lois Lane, the cyborg said that his memory was blurry, but that he could see a spaceship on the farm. The surname Kent. Following the death of Superman, this cyborg Superman, aka Hank Henshaw, was one of 4 substitutes for the Man of Steel. Unlike the others, he veered off course immediately, becoming a worldwide menace through alliances with Mongol, the Manhunters, and the Sinestro Corps. He later engaged in a fearsome battle with Superman and was finally defeated by him.
No.
Number 2. Injustice Superman Injustice 2021. Superman realizes his wife, Lois Lane, is pregnant on Earth 22 after hearing the second pulse. At the same time, Batman arrives in Metropolis to track down the Joker, who has stolen kryptonite from Star Labs. Joker murders Jimmy Olsen, kidnaps Lois, and obtains a nuclear bomb, which they link to a heart rate monitor that's surgically inserted to her heart. When Superman and Batman learn of Lois's kidnapping, they summon the rest of the Justice League to help them find her. During his investigation of the city, Flash discovers the Scarecrow dead in his lab and his supply of fear toxin stolen before being slain by a trap set by the Joker. Superman ultimately discovers the Joker and Harley hiding in a submarine, but when he confronts them, he is assaulted by Doomsday and flies the monster into space. As the other heroes arrive and catch Joker and Harley, Batman finds that they have combined a stolen fear toxin with kryptonite, causing Superman to believe he is battling Doomsday while, in fact, he has murdered Lois. Lois's death sets off the detonation of the bomb, devastating Metropolis and killing millions of people before Superman can be informed. Joker is captured and transported to Arkham Asylum, where he tells Batman that after failing to break him, he switched his attention to corrupting Superman. To Batman's dismay, a distraught Superman interrupts the questioning, murdering Joker by impaling him with his fist and pulling out his heart. This was the point where Superman murders someone out of will, and this changes him completely. As the world responds to his actions, Superman vows to take a tougher position on avoiding death, which is backed by Wonder Woman but rejected by Batman, who believes he will abandon his and the Justice League's belief.
You'll throw away everything the Justice League stands for. Everything you stand for.
While Green Arrow transports Harley to his bunker to shelter her from Superman's anger, Superman discloses his secret identity to the United Nations and declares his determination to restore peace to Earth by force if necessary. Because of Superman's actions, the Justice League is split. Superman returns to Gotham City for the next step of his plan, attempting to make peace with Batman, only to become embroiled in an intellectual debate which results in Batman rejecting Superman. Batman travels to Arkham with Nightwing to stop Superman, Wonder Woman, and Cyborg from forcibly transporting Arkham's prisoners to a more secure institution, only to learn that his son Robin has joined Superman. Robin presents Superman to his grandpa, Ra's al Ghul, who offers to help him with his quest but refuses to work with the villain. Batman, along with other heroes who refuse to join Superman, establishes an underground rebellion that plots to take a Red Sun cannon from the Fortress of Solitude in order to fight Superman. Realizing Batman's plot, Superman arrives at the fortress, beating Captain Atom and Huntress before being restrained by the Atom, who is within Superman's head and wields a minuscule piece of kryptonite. Ra's destroys the cannon and kills Atom by forcing Superman to ingest intense radioactive gas before it can be taken. Green Arrow tries to shoot Superman with a kryptonite arrow, but it is deflected towards Jonathan, causing Superman to murder Green Arrow in rage. Following his father's final words, Superman lets Batman and his team escape with the Phantom Zone projector and formally joins forces with Ra's. Superman openly reveals his desires to utilize T-spheres, which surveys the globe and prevents crime, and then murders a group of youngsters at a bar for wearing the Joker's emblem. Superman prepares to capture the terrorists and disables Wonder Woman when she turns against him. Mr. Terrific, on the other hand, summons the Superman of Earth-1 to confront his counterpart after he utilizes his technology and the Phantom Zone projector to establish an interdimensional portal. Earth-22 Superman beats Earth-1 Superman, who was holding back but surrenders after being calmed down by Lois Lane from Earth-9, whose Superman perished in the fight against Brainiac and is still pregnant with his child. Superman, repentant for his crimes, offers to be imprisoned as penance. Despite not knowing what would happen next, Batman begins to restore the world and his life with Catwoman. Number 3, Ultraman, Justice League Crisis on Two Earths, 2010. On a parallel Earth, Lex Luthor and the Jester infiltrate a high-security vault to steal the quantum trigger. They almost escape with it when the Jester valiantly sacrifices himself to deal with his pursuers, allowing Lex Luthor time to send himself to a parallel Earth where the Justice League, commanded by Superman, is called by the authorities over Luthor's appearance at the police station. Superman determines that this Luthor is from a parallel Earth to his own and transports him to the Justice League Watchtower satellite, where he reveals that his own Earth is being harassed by an organization known as the Crime Syndicate.
Systematically destroyed by a group of superpowered beings known as the Crime Syndicate.
While the Justice League holds a clandestine meeting to decide whether or not to assist Luthor with his world situations, Luthor conceals the quantum trigger someplace on board the Watchtower. The Justice League then decides to assist Luthor in dealing with the Crime Syndicate, with Batman opting to stay behind to safeguard his Earths owing to his team's present lack of personnel. However, when they enter Luthor's Justice League offices, they are attacked by Superwoman and a squad of her lieutenants who are busily ransacking the premises looking for papers and proof. The Justice League successfully repels them long enough for Luthor to take them to an erstwhile alley refuge. The 5 surviving main members of the team reconvene at the Crime Syndicate headquarters to discuss their Earth's persistent and increasing resistance to the Syndicate's control, and that they have been operating on a quantum-powered weapon that will compel the world's governments to surrender what little control they have left to the Syndicate or face possible global annihilation. Owlman finds in secret that Luthor has constructed a trans-dimensional gadget that allows him to transfer to the Earth reality of the other Justice Leagues and has Superwoman transport there to retrieve the quantum trigger. At the Jester's hideout, Superman and Luthor weigh their options and decide to divide into groups and attack many targets at the same time. At a drug manufacturing factory, Green Lantern and Wonder Woman encounters Power Ring Lieutenant Olympia. To take on Ultraman, Superman and Lex Luthor employs Ultraman's bodyguard Jimmy Olsen as bait. Superman tries to persuade the president that doing nothing to combat bad forces would only let evil win, but the president finds that difficult to accept given that he has the necessary superpowers to cope with the crime syndicate.
What do you think you're doing?
My father's will.
Number 4, Superman, the son of Darkseid. Superman the Animated Series. Superman is indoctrinated into believing he is Darkseid's adoptive son, and he informs him that as a prize for destroying the alien world, he will be given his own planet, Earth, to rule. Back in Metropolis, Superman soars over the city as Lois Lane and Clark Kent stands on the ground and watch. Then it's discovered that Superman and Clark are both robots commanded by Supergirl. Nobody knows where Superman is. Darkseid then reveals that he only wants Superman to assault Earth so that the military forces can unite to defeat him. Darkseid would then take over the shattered globe under the pretext of restoring order. Lex Luthor reveals that he is aware of Superman's absence and is curious as to what is going on.
Superman is missing.
He believes Superman will not return and convinces Kara that she will be unable to maintain her act. Kara refuses to trust him and decides to leave. Luthor departs for General Hardcastle, revealing that they have been working on a project to track Superman's activity and weaknesses. They'll murder Superman together if he gets out of hand. Hardcastle and Luthor believe that they have discovered the ideal moment to assassinate Superman. Luthor instructs Hardcastle to prepare for a last strike while he prepares a unique weapon. Superman raids another military installation and effortlessly defeats their defenses, but Supergirl ultimately confronts him and battles him. Superman is enraged that Supergirl is wearing his insignia while battling him. He nearly kills her, but Lois comes and urges him to stop. Superman abruptly recalls everything. A kryptonite missile, however, is launched at Superman and Supergirl, presumably murdering both. Lois Lane approaches Superman as soldiers haul him away. Superman comes back and recalls everything. He went to a mysterious spacecraft that was emitting a distress signal, but discovered it was a trap. He was struck and rendered unconscious by a weapon aboard the ship, and Granny Goodness brainwashed him into believing Darkseid was his adoptive father.
Welcome, Kal-El, my son.
Superman wakes in a red-lit military detention cell. General Hardcastle enters the chambers and says that the lights negate Superman's abilities and that he is merely kept alive to justify his deeds. When Superman inquires about Supergirl, he receives no response. Hardcastle refuses to trust Superman as he attempts to explain how Darkseid manipulated him. Superman tries to flee and release Supergirl, but he is apprehended.
Nice try, traitor.
Luthor and Hardcastle come and they plan to assassinate Superman by injecting him with a liquid kryptonite concoction. Superman, on the other hand, fights back, and Lois prevents Luthor from completing the job. She and Superman escapes from his cage, but Superman insists on saving Supergirl first. They notice that they must transport Supergirl out of owing to her sensitivity to red sunlight after locating her. Supergirl is wounded in the chest and nearly dies as they carry her out. Fortunately, Superman and Lois are able to go while Supergirl is still alive. Superman takes a boom tube generator and travels to Apokolips to make things right with Darkseid. Darkseid appears and fights Superman in a vicious struggle. At the last second, he covers Darkseid's eyes, forcing the beams to deflect and hit Darkseid in the skull, resulting in a great explosion. Darkseid is gravely hurt and unable to continue the fight, collapsing at Superman's feet. Darkseid is thrown by Superman from the palace walls. Superman tells them they may do anything they want to Darkseid.
Can't you see Gigantus just using you?
Number 5, Bizarro, Superman the Animated Series. Bizarro was a subpar clone of Superman. He was a terrible person who was more misguided and exploited than maliciously malevolent. Lex Luthor created Bizarro as a prototype for an army of supermen. The clone initially resembled and functioned like Superman, but he was unaware of his alter identity Clark Kent. Having rescued the actual Clark Kent from a precipice, Bizarro was aware that he was Superman, but the look of the genuine Superman perplexed him, leading him to assume that the real Man of Steel was an imposter. When Bizarro witnessed Superman save Lois, he understood he was the true duplicate and accepted the reality that I am not Superman. Finally, he did something extremely Superman-like by killing himself so that Superman and Lois might escape the exploding laboratory. Lois worried if Bizarro could have survived, and with that being said, Superman also mentioned that he was doubtful because he had never been in such a violent explosion. Bizarro, on the other hand, survived the explosion and found himself destitute in the wilderness. He started looking for solutions all across the world. Superman then transported Bizarro to another planet capable of supporting life, but devoid of any intelligent beings. Superman stated that Bizarro could live in that world and guard it in the same way that he defends Earth. Despite his lack of intelligence, Bizarro was observant enough to recognize he was being set up when he remarked how the planet was completely barren. For a while, Bizarro was happy in his new world, even reconstructing Metropolis out of rocks and trees and remaking the Fortress of Solitude, from which he would pretend to rescue the trees from destruction in the same manner as Superman would save humans in danger. Bizarro was outraged and resolved to obtain an apology after witnessing a phony picture of Superman and his buddies laughing at him. Mr. Mxyzptlk delivered Bizarro to Earth, where he initially faced Lois and subsequently fought Superman, refusing to listen to reason. Superman appeared and saved him, revealing that he was not the enemy and that Mxyzptlk was the source of the problem. After that, Bizarro was back to his tranquil and satisfied world. He returned to Earth and joined forces with Giganta to free Grodd from jail. Bizarro subsequently became a member of Grodd's Legion of Doom. Grodd and Luthor experimented on him before altering Bizarro's mentality so he would do anything Luthor demanded. Bizarro, who was controlled by reverse logic, was a potent tool for the Legion to utilize. Number 6, Lord Superman, Justice League. Superman was a member of the Justice Lords in a parallel reality. Until President Lex Luthor killed the Flash, Justice Lord Superman's backstory mirrored that of his Justice League counterpart. Superman soon invaded the White House. While his colleagues were fighting the Secret Service, Superman approached President Luthor in the Oval Office. Notwithstanding Superman's claims of corruption and misuse of power, President Luthor strongly objected and said arrogantly that he would find a way to evade prosecution. After being deeply moved by the president's comments, Superman announced that if being a hero meant that feuding and fighting had to continue, he was done with it. The president was then executed on the spot by Superman using his heat vision. Following the killing of President Luthor, the Justice Lords spent the next 2 years enforcing their version of peace on Earth through severe control. Justice Lord Superman continued to lobotomize all of Earth's criminals and supervillains with his heat vision. As a consequence, they all transformed into innocuous walking vegetables who obediently inhabited the world's jails, such as Gotham City's Arkham Asylum. Although Lord Superman's firm belief was that their activities were justified, many people on Earth were dissatisfied with their guardianship. With the repression of the free press and the world's governments, Lord Superman was frequently subjected to hopeless appeals from the current president, as well as scathing assaults from former Daily Planet reporter Lois Lane. Lord Superman's repeated promises that the Lord's dominion over Earth was merely transitory did nothing to assuage his critics. Justice Lord Batman debuted his interdimensional transit gadget, which could be used to observe and enter other dimensions, 2 years after the universal conquest of Justice Lords. The Lord's initial use of the machine sent them to a parallel reality in which their Justice League counterparts still had the Flash as a member, fought Lex Luthor, and never gained control of Earth. The Justice Lords took over the watchtower of the Justice League after learning that Lex Luthor had escaped from jail. Justice Lord Superman was on his way to assassinate Luthor, just as he had assassinated the president. Lord Superman found himself in combat with the Flash, and he held his own for the majority of the time. Lord Superman, on the other hand, quickly gained an upper hand. Despite his short hesitation, he was still eager to murder the Flash. Before he could do so, Superman and Lex Luthor halted him by deploying an energy disruptor on the Justice Lord, depriving him of his abilities. Lord Superman cautioned that anything Luthor did after that was in the hands of the other Kryptonian. Superman recognized that it was a steep price to pay, but it was preferable to the alternative. Lord Superman was kidnapped by Justice League's Batman, and the other Justice Lords were quickly restored to their own realities. Many others were haunted by Justice Lord Superman acts in the years that followed, acting as a continuous reminder of what may happen if his counterpart even went too far. During the Cadmus crisis, Lex Luthor and Brainiac merged to build an android clone of Justice Lord Superman to battle Superman. Number 7, Superior Superman, Red Sun. A little child being pursued by a band of bullies in the Soviet Union in 1946, Svetlana, a little girl, defends him by driving them away. He tells her that he was terrified not for his own safety, but for the safety of the bullies, before displaying his superhuman strength and the ability to fly. Svetlana assures the youngster that he may utilize his abilities to benefit the country if he so desires. A decade later, in 1955, the Soviet Union published a propaganda film depicting an extraterrestrial superhuman under the command of Joseph Stalin, dubbed the Soviet Superman by the American media. Dwight D. Eisenhower, President of the United States, assigns Lex Luthor the responsibility of devising a countermeasure against him.
Eisenhower.
Eventually, Superman saves Metropolis from a satellite disaster, which leads to Lex's wife, Lois Lane, earning an interview with him. She shows him a top-secret document that takes him to a hidden gulag where he discovers a dying Svetlana, who was incarcerated there because she knew Superman's true identity. Enraged, Superman confronts and kills Stalin. As a consequence, Superman now becomes the new leader of the Soviet Union, promising to utilize his talents for good and to expand the Soviet state's authority. Superman spreads communist principles all over the world, bringing the Korean War to a close and collapsing the Berlin Wall, which the Western powers erected to keep him at bay. He also forms an alliance with Princess Diana / Wonder Woman of Themyscira and develops a deep bond with her. Meanwhile, Luthor reveals Superior Man, a clone of Superman created by extracting Superman's cells from the wrecked satellite and remotely powering it with an orb of energy before sending it out to meet Superman. The two superhumans struggle until Luthor overloads the clone with too much energy, causing it to degrade as the fight proceeds, until it ultimately collapses and disappears. Superman is shocked by Luthor's actions. In 1967, Superman repels an attack by the extraterrestrial robot Brainiac, retraining him to become his advisor and using his technology to assist Warsaw Pact countries while lobotomizing Soviet dissidents. However, he is unable to stop Brainiac from reducing Stalingrad before beating him, and he is also forced to deal with the militant Batman, a survivor of the secret Gulag who curses Superman for the loss of his family. Luthor is elected president of the United States, ushering in a new era of wealth that challenges Soviet supremacy. After discovering Abin Sur's wrecked spaceship and body, Luthor assigns Colonel Hal Jordan the duty of determining the great power of the green ring discovered on the alien's body, resulting in the establishment of the Green Lantern Corps. Jordan launches an attack on Superman in 1983, which is momentarily thwarted by Wonder Woman, who tries one last time to resolve the fight before declaring that Themyscira will be closed to all men forever. Holding Brainiac's encouragement, Superman travels to the White House to face Luthor, only to discover Lois in the bottled city of Stalingrad. He didn't get a command from Superman to reverse the procedure. Realizing his blunder, Superman withdraws, but Brainiac destroys the smaller city and continues the attack, disclosing that the indoctrination failed and that he had been using Superman to dominate the globe for himself. Brainiac is defeated by Superman and Luthor, but his ship is programmed to self-destruct if he is defeated. Superman pilots the ship into outer space where he seems to perish in the explosion. Number 8, Eradicator, Reign of Superman, 2019. 6 months after Superman's death and demise at the hands of Doomsday, the rate of crime in Metropolis has increased, and 4 new Supermen have appeared, causing controversy throughout the world. Clark Kent's adoptive parents, Lois Lane, are still in grief over his loss. Lois has been gathering information about the new Supermen from various sources in order to do her investigation. At a press conference, Lex Luthor exposes the world to a new Superman, whom Lois finds as a clone, Superboy, developed by Dr. Dabney Donovan. The conversation is interrupted, however, by the Eradicator, Steel, and Cyborg Superman, who fight until both the Eradicator and Cyborg Superman flee the battle. Meanwhile, the Eradicator begins transferring his DNA to Superman's dead body in the Fortress of Solitude. Steel pursues the Eradicator to the fortress, where he discovers that Superman is now through a regeneration cycle, and the two battle. The battle is streamed on Lois's phone. Lois realizes that the Eradicator is a hologram produced in the matrix of Superman's spacecraft to protect Superman. The conflict is eventually put down when a depowered Superman, likewise dressed in a black costume, is revived. Lex and Lois realize, thanks to Henshaw's technology, that Henshaw himself is being controlled by Darkseid of Apokolips, who built Doomsday and coordinated its invasion on Earth. Superman, Superboy, and Steel are on their way to Metropolis. Lex dispatched Lois to the Watchtower while he uses a mother box to save the League. Darkseid continues to punish Henshaw for failing to keep Superman dead and tries to open the gateway for his arrival using the mother box infused with Henshaw. Henshaw, on the other hand, pulls out the mother box inside him, deactivating Darkseid's influence over the Cybercore. Superman appears just as Henshaw is about to murder Lois. Henshaw holds Superman responsible for his wife Terry's death. Superman finally regains his sun-given powers and kills Henshaw by stabbing him in the forehead with a crystal from the Fortress of Solitude holding the Eradicator software. Henshaw's death also deactivates the Cybercore and returns them to normal operations.
Superman!
Number 9. Mind-Controlled Superman, Justice League War, 2014. When the great Darkseid and his huge, unrelenting armies invade Earth, a collection of formerly unaligned superheroes, misunderstood and, in some cases, persecuted by the government, learn that the only way to ward off the strike will be to work together as a cohesive team. Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, The Flash, Shazam, and his origin story, Cyborg, joins forces to fight for the survival of Earth. Batman, Green Lantern, and Superman get together to put an end to a string of kidnappings in Gotham City. They investigate a mother box and conclude it is of extraterrestrial origin. They decide to question Superman about the box's origin. Superman, Batman, and Green Lantern face off against a pair of monstrous. In reaction to their knowledge of his intentions, Darkseid instructs Darkseid to launch an invasion of Earth. Victor and Silas agrees over whether metahumans are more significant than football. When Victor holds the box at Star Labs, it bursts and forms a boom tube. Cyborg learns more about Apokolips, Darkseid, and the invasion plot. The invasion is a precursor of Earth's terraforming. To save Superman from a parademon, Batman permits himself to be caught. Green Lantern comes up with the brilliant notion of robbing Darkseid of his Omega beams by destroying his eyes. Because of the brainwashing process, Superman becomes unstable and very hostile, strangling Darkseid to death and attacks parademons and Batman. After saving the globe, the superheroes acquire public trust and are recognized at the White House.
I am unimpressed.
Number 10. Trigon Superman, Justice League Dark Apokolips War. Darkseid and his troops proceed to invade other worlds after their unsuccessful attempts to take Earth. The Justice League devises a strategy to destroy him by transporting his war to Apokolips and leaving the Teen Titans to defend Earth. As a consequence, the League is overrun and defeated by Paradooms, genetic hybrid beings created by fusing parademons with Doomsday. During the battle, most of the heroes from both the Justice League and the Titans are slaughtered, while those who survive are imprisoned by Darkseid. The remaining heroes blame Clark Kent/Superman for the demise. Damian Wayne hesitantly accepts to join the organization in an attempt to liberate his father Batman from mind control. They are assaulted momentarily by assassins who are subsequently called off by Damian, their new commander. Superman, Lois Lane, Raven, Constantine, and Trigon the Demon band together to prevent Darkseid from gaining control of Apokolips. The gang travels to Stryker's Island in Metropolis, where they are accosted by Lex Luthor, who confesses that he was a mole working with Lois to get information about Darkseid. Meanwhile, the remaining heroes launch an attack on the Reapers as a distraction, but they are gradually slaughtered while combating the Paradooms. Batman and Darkseid return to Apokolips as part of a backup plan in case the League fails. Cyborg, who has been merged into the planet's network, confronts them. Wonder Woman kills Trigon, but Constantine manages to release her with her lasso of truth.
Break free, now!
Constantine realizes he has altered the chronology in the past while liberating the Flash. Zatanna says that she performed a spell to persuade Constantine to return to Earth. Clark is brought back to his senses by Lois's death, which frees him from Trigon's clutches. Constantine and Raven resolve to use their combined abilities to create Trigon, a corporeal body, so he may continue fighting Darkseid. Then Cyborg reveals his plans to transport the Paradooms back to Apokolips while pulling the Earth into a boom tube with no way out. Constantine convinces Flash to run back in time and reset the timeline again so he can help find a solution to the problem. Number 11. Superman, puppet of an evil government. Batman, The Dark Knight Returns. 2013. Batman reassumes the mantle of Batman after he encounters mutant gang members in the alley where his parents were murdered. Batman eventually confronts Harvey Dent, who has once again become Two-Face despite having his scars repaired a long time ago. Commissioner Gordon is forced to retire due to his age and is replaced by Ella Yindel, a fierce critic of Batman. Batman discovers that a United States Army general had been supplying the mutants with military weapons in exchange for cash. The general confesses and justifies his action by saying he needs to help his sick wife. However, the general conscience is still eating away at him and he eventually commits suicide in front of Batman. Batman drives a new, fortified version of the Batmobile to the mutants' meeting ground at the city dump. Batman's greatest nemesis, the Joker, reemerges after having been catatonic for 10 years. Batman is forced to battle the police force while the Joker releases a cloud of Joker venom on the audience. During the chase, the Joker kills several people and Batman manages to gouge one of the Joker's eyes. Eventually, the two confront each other, ironically in a tunnel of love. The sons of Batman have become vigilantes, enforcing law and order. Batman chooses to teach them non-lethal crime fighting techniques. Meanwhile, a Russian-made nuclear device detonates, blotting out the light and shutting down electronics throughout the United States. Batman and the Sons re-establish order in Gotham, but the government soon assigns Superman to assassinate Batman since he challenges their power. However, the former Green Arrow, now a one-armed rebel, Oliver Queen, alerts Batman of the government's plans. Batman begins preparing for his showdown with Superman, armed with a strong suit of armor, a sonic blaster, a mystery drug, and synthetic kryptonite that he spent years crafting. Batman and Superman engage in a fierce struggle, and Batman emerges victorious when Queen shoots Superman with an arrowhead laced with Batman's synthetic kryptonite. Batman, on the other hand, dies of a heart attack shortly after. Meanwhile, Alfred Pennyworth detonates bombs hidden in the Batcave by him and Batman specifically for this reason, destroying Wayne Manor. Alfred experiences a stroke and dies almost instantly. Bruce Wayne's secret identity as Batman swiftly becomes known to the world, but his accounts have been empty and his investment in funds have been liquidated. A distant cousin, his sole living relative, claimed his body. With the destruction of the Batcave and Wayne Manor, there was no concrete documentation of how he carried out his multiple lives or of Batman's techniques. Superman detects a heartbeat inside the coffin at the burial and, after gazing at Carrie, winks at her before leaving. Carrie subsequently discovers Bruce's body and discovers that he feigned death with the medication. Bruce Wayne now embarks on a new chapter in his life, leading Robin, Green Arrow, and his new army into unknown tunnels beyond the Batcave in preparation for a new fight against the corrupt government. Number 12, Black Superman. Superman, the animated series. In Superman, the animated series, a version of Superman is an adversary. He was formerly a Metropolis hero, but after failing to save Lois from a car bombing, he sought to become a fascist dictator and join forces with Lex Luthor. That Superman counterpart was from Krypton and found his talents and origins, but he had love feelings for Lois Lane that he was unaware of. When Lois was killed in the vehicle bombing by Intergang, with Superman being a split second too late to save her, he was horrified and realized he had feelings for Lois that he never felt before, unlike his counterpart who had saved Lois in time. After realizing that being a superhero wasn't enough to keep Metropolis secure, Batman donned a black suit, linked up with Lex Luthor, and became the dictator of Metropolis. Superman implemented fascist legislation, forcing the Daily Planet and Star Labs out of business and displacing a large number of people. People revolted and several were arrested. The rebels were persecuted by Superman and the fascist cops. Lois Lane inadvertently entered the parallel Superman's reality and witnessed what happened. Lois fought the cops and subsequently ran into Superman. He saved Lois from the security officers collapsing, brought her to his room, and revealed why he became a tyrant. Lois was outraged by his conduct and the fact that he would partner up with Lex Luthor. Luthor, Superman reasoned, would not do anything sly because he would be afraid of Superman. But it was shattered when Superman discovered that Luthor had attempted to murder Lois, and she brought him to a rebel holding cell in the same tower where Superman lived. They objected and yelled at him, but it hit home when Jimmy Olsen, a member of the Resistance, tossed a rock at Superman despite the fact that he was Superman's pal. Enraged by the deception, Superman marched into Luthor's headquarters, confronted him, and informed him of the problems associated with work. Luthor retaliated by utilizing kryptonite, which the Resistance had taken previously, to devise a plot to restrict Superman, and was compelled to murder him in order to protect the people. Tragically, before they got to the other building, Superman and the other Lois notified the rebels of what was going to happen and sent them to Luthor's office to face him. Luthor took off on his plane, but Superman pursued him. Superman destroyed Luthor's plane, killing him in the process. Superman promised another dimension's Lois that he would put things right in his reality. So, what are your thoughts on this? If you enjoyed this video, please take a moment to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We would greatly appreciate it. So, until next time, stay marvelous.